Welcome back.
Back to the couch, guys.
Welcome back to the couch. Hey, it's always nice and comfortable on the couch.
I was going to say, this is the one couch that I don't mind getting sent to.
Hey, you don't mind sleeping on this couch?
I don't mind sleeping on this couch. It's comfortable there. All my friends there. I mean, like, hey, get those more.
Hey, listen, I'll do things to get sent to this couch.
Real talk.
All right, I don't mind getting in trouble.
And don't let it be football season. Oh my gosh, I'll be a bad boy every day.
But people, welcome in, man. Welcome back to the Couch Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. I am Theo Miller here with Sherlyn Gadet and Xander Sherman.
Yep, present.
How we doing, gents?
Yeah, great.
Good, man. Good.
How are you?
Ready to?
How are you?
Me?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you. I've been waiting on y'all to ask me, like it'd be nice. It'd be nice for someone to ask me how I feeling, I feel good too,
I'm trying to practice that more, not be so self-centered,
Yes. Give to others.
Give to others.
Just as we mean to give to all of you all of this wonderful fantasy knowledge. No charge. No charge.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, iTunes did just open up its subscription program, so I mean, right? For a future day, we could talk about it, but no charge. No charge
yet. These like them apps that you enjoying so much, and then you'd be like, oh, you want more? You want a couple cents, couple dollars.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you go to hit play,
right?
Oh, subscription fee is.
Oh, you want that character for that stage? Oh, it's gonna cost you.
But yeah, man, football is rearing into form. Every week, it's starting to get more and more interesting. The OTAs are rolling around, like you said.
These camps,
mini camp
highlights.
Mm-hmm.
It's mini camp time.
Some mandatory showing up that some people ain't showing up to. It's getting a little spicy. It's getting a little spicy up in there. Things getting a little real.
And hype machines in full force.
As always.
Oh yeah.
Hype trains are rolling.
Listen, man, they got the gasoline pouring in the hype machine 24/7. They're never running out.
No, not at all.
It's that the hype is going for some of these guys, but that's what you have us here for. We are here to sift out the noise from the truth. That's what we do here on the couch.
And also give a little bit of hype too for those who need that little bit of hype.
A little bit of hype for those who need it.
But only every now and again.
Only the deserving players, right? Only the deserving players. But yeah, guys. So let's talk a little bit. We cannot begin without talking just a tad about Sherlyn's most exciting news right now.
Speaking about hype, Speaking about hype,
we know Couch Champion Sherlyn is quite hyped. Tell us why. What has happened in the past week?
I'm so hyped because Julio Jones is now a Tennessee Titan, and it was something that, in the back of my mind, I was like, it's a possibility, but I never thought it could happen, and it happened. So,
Titans were definitely one of the top teams, I thought, because I mean, once we knew it was happening, there's always just a few teams that actually have the ability to make the move that needs to be made to get these kind of players. So
yeah, I
thought the Titans were in play, but I mean, I guess I didn't consider it either that they would actually make the move. But hey, I mean, I have to give it to you, Sherlyn. This team, boy,
it's looking good, right? Looking beastly. Now, the only negatives that could come out of this is for some of the hopefuls that we had on the come up. Des Fitzpatrick, he was one of my rookie hopefuls.
He's officially.
R.I.P. for him this year.
R.I.P. This year. Yeah.
Josh Reynolds, I was closely monitoring him to see, if he could step up. R.I.P. for him.
Double R.I.P. Yeah.
Right.
And Andy Ferguson as well.
I wouldn't say that because the tight end position is still valuable.
But it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough for him.
It was enough. You have to look at it. Last year was AJ Brown's Pro Bowl season. Corey Davis also 8, and Jonnu Smith also 8 as well.
Did Jonnu Smith eat?
Yes, he did. He was I can't remember, maybe top 10 tight end.
I think the tight end position still has value because I mean you have Julio and you have AJ. When they covered,
And
still got to throw somewhere else.
right, and
Yeah,
remember,
I mean, he's gonna have he's gonna have some value, but my thing with him is just with Julio being there, there's a certain amount going to him, and this is a run first team. So when I just don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna feel comfortable saying I'm gonna play Andy Ferguson this week.
but to your
Like,
point,
when are you gonna know?
to your point, it's a run first team that uses the play action, and most play action sets are 2 tight end sets, and so someone's gonna eat.
Yeah, it probably won't be Ferguson. I'm definitely
I think he has sleeper potential. We'll see. But
yeah. You think you think everyone on the Titans team must sleep with
I
potential?
honestly don't. Oh, come on. You guys just like to rain on my parade, but you know what? We just can show and prove this year.
Listen, man, there's only so much raining we could do. You have Julio now. You have to allow us to rag on you a certain amount just because we salty that we didn't get him on our teams.
All right, but not to linger. What sort of rating would you give Julio? Wide receiver 1, 2?
I think Julio is going to be a solid wide receiver 2 this year.
I think so.
I think you wanna have him as a wide receiver 2, possibly wide receiver 3. Wide receiver 3 would be amazing.
It would be.
And I think you're gonna have to spend a 4th to get him. Maybe a late 3rd.
I agree.
Okay.
In terms of redraft, I don't think he's gonna go much further than that. Just considering, this was one of the best situations for fantasy for him, in my opinion. Ryan Tannehill and Matt Ryan at this time, I don't see, I don't see a whole lot of difference. Both really good quarterbacks that can get the ball to their targets.
Why, thank you. Look at you.
I didn't say great.
It only took.
Listen to what I said.
That's an improvement. That's an improvement.
There's levels.
Gosh.
Xander has been the one that has been bad man Tannehill. I have come around on him. I've come around on him since.
Awesome.
Serviceable at best.
All it took was a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yeah, but that's what I think. I think as a wide receiver 2, I think he's gonna be someone that you're gonna want to cut on your team. If you decided to go running back in the beginning in the first 2 rounds,
right?
Go ahead and try and get Julio as your second wide receiver.
In Dynasty, is he a buy or sell?
I'd say he's a hold. I mean, it's tough. It depends on where your team is right now. Dynasty,
it depends on your team. If you're good with wide receivers, it's the perfect time to sell him.
Yeah, I would say that too, because in one of the leagues we're in, the guy who has him, I wouldn't say he's in a position to compete.
Right.
And I'm urging him. I don't want him. I would love to have him buy, but I know, the price is going to be too much. But you should sell him. Yeah. You should really sell him right now.
That's what I mean, and that's what I was gonna say. And just in terms of what your team looks like, if you know you're not competing, and you get him to a team that's gonna compete this year. That's should be your goal. Try to get a team
that's like one piece away from their team.
One piece away.
Exactly, and
make it a change for the better.
Yeah, and not to linger on it more, but for those who are competing as well, right before the playoffs, if your team is already set, you have a pick, second round, third rounder, and someone who's a non-competitor has Julio Jones, I'd say snag him. Like, you could always use that insurance. And I think he has enough capital to sell after the season is over as well. So that's the last nugget on that one.
It definitely, if Julio has a great season this year, if he has even if he has a good season this year, you need to sell him immediately in Dynasty. I think.
Yeah,
get as much value as you can.
His expiration date is far.
It's coming. It's coming.
He like that milk that's for sale in the store, and you'd be like, "Well, how soon I can eat a whole bowl of cereal?" I eat a whole bowl of cereal, a whole bowl of cereal today, so I can get this.
Yep. Yes, try to squeeze the every amount of juice you have out of that player, definitely.
Yeah.
But we want to move on. definitely something to keep our eyes on. But I mean, Julio on the Titans at the end of the day, I think is a good thing for the Titans and the best thing you could hope for his situation in fantasy.
Yeah. Tighten up.
Of
All right,
course, yeah.
we-
We couldn't get out that segment without at least one, eh? Okay,
No.
all right.
we've moved on.
Let's move on. So guys, we're gonna play a little game. We're gonna before we get into the NFC South. Sorry, that's who we're gonna be talking about this week. We want to play a little game that I have devised for all of us to play.
All right.
And basically, the name of this game is "Y'all Gonna Be Mad When."
Mm.
You know, everyone has that player. Everyone has that player that they just they see things that others don't see.
Yeah.
You know that and the ADP just doesn't reflect that. Nothing about the player reflects that, and you're just like, how is everyone else missing what is clear as day on this player? And the three of us have picked players that we feel fit that bill.
Yeah.
So we just want to let you guys know what to look out for in these underrated players that you can probably net in the later rounds that can do a lot for your fantasy team.
Let's let it rip.
Xander, you want to kick it off for us?
Sure, I'll kick it off. So my player is David Johnson. Now I will say in earlier podcasts I had dogged on David Johnson. But I have since looked into his numbers, and David Johnson's a pretty stable running back. He's on a team that has no quarterback, so running will be in high demand for this team.
Necessary.
So, I mean, you also have Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, like a whole lot of geriatrics in the back there.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone.
The usual suspects.
I swear.
You have a lot of fallen stars in this backfield.
Real talk.
So, I mean, there isn't too much competition for him. And even so, I feel like they're going to be doing so much running that it won't really affect him. He was out for a few games, but in all of the games but two, he had at least 78% of the snap count.
That's awesome.
So that's really high for him. He had 8 touchdowns, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
So
pretty good.
if you could snag David Johnson as your, honestly, where he going, you could get him as your RB3.
Yeah, that's a good reliable.
And I feel like that'd be great. His ADP is around the 7th round.
Wow.
I feel like he may be even going later than that in some rounds. So keep an eye out for old man David.
Yeah,
He could help show up your backfield.
that's a good one.
I think that's a good move for definitely for those that might be, you know, a little bit more wide receiver heavy.
Right.
You know, if you make some wide receiver picks in your early rounds and you're looking to definitely shore up that backfield. And these are the players that kind of slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
You know, when you're always looking for these players on the high profile teams and you know are gonna get something, but sometimes the draft just doesn't fall like that for you.
Yeah.
And so it's always good to have those type of names in your repertoire, ready to pull it out just in case something happens, and so you don't freak out.
Yeah. And the beauty about David Johnson, is he's semi game script. What's the word?
Proof.
Game script proof. And we know they should, if things don't go right, they should be losing a lot. And so even if they need to pass the ball, he can catch that ball. And you know, if they're ahead, he can run the ball. So that's a pretty good insurance target for me.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So I'll go off from here.
I also want to add one more
sorry.
thing.
Go ahead.
I think we're all assuming that Deshaun won't be back with the Texans.
He won't be back.
I'm having a rookie quarterback bodes even better for him.
That's
Because
true.
they're not going to put the ball in the new quarterback's hands all the time.
What about Tyrod though?
And they still gonna run the ball, right?
Yeah, they still can run the ball. I mean,
Tyrod is kind of mobile as well.
Yeah, but I don't see him running the ball a ton.
No, but I'm saying that's a good thing actually. He's kind of mobile, but he's not like mobile in the way that Lamar Jackson and those are mobile.
Yeah,
he's mobile in the way that you have to watch out for him,
Right.
but that ends up making holes for the running back.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my 5 cents on David Johnson.
All right, cool. My y'all gonna be mad when player is Henry Ruggs the third.
Okay.
Just don't forget about the third. Henry Ruggs is one of those players that just leaves a bad taste in your mouth after last season. Really was not a great rookie campaign. There were only really the only two rookie wide receivers that did not perform was Henry Ruggs and Jalen Reagor. Those were the most disappointing rookie wide receivers.
Just based on that, mostly on the hype though.
Mostly on hype, because at the end of the day, we have to start giving these rookies a little bit more space to acclimate to the NFL.
Agree.
You know that, and for your fantasy team, for your outlook, it's going to be good on you to keep your eye on these players that other people have forgotten after one season.
Right.
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs was drafted in the first. He was drafted in the first round last year. And we can't forget that. High draft capital. A lot of onus on these coaches to get him the ball.
Right.
Yep.
Henry Ruggs missed 3 games last season. You know, he had a few injuries that ailed him and that held him back from doing more than he could, than maybe he was supposed to do. So that's one of the things we have to look out for. You know, Henry Ruggs, he really was not on the field. And even when he was on the field, he played injured.
Yeah.
So most of the other games that he played, he limped along through. So we have that. And so tell me, we talk about Darren Waller.
I was going to bring him up.
Yeah, I know. That's the big elephant in the room, right? Darren Waller.
Yeah.
We project that Darren Waller will continue to be the primary receiving option for Derek Carr. You know, and be that as it may, I feel like that can be very much possible, and Henry Ruggs can still provide you with some sort of upside, because Henry Ruggs is a lightning bolt. You know, he's one of those boom players that's gonna get you big play. He's gonna get you big points on one play. You know, that's what he does. He doesn't need to have a whole lot in that timeshare. He just needs to pretty much just cash in on one.
What I do think what I do think is upside is that he can provide that PPR floor and the PPR use as well. Those short passes, I think if they were to tailor the game towards his strength, which is to get in between the zones and get in the short yardage, I think he can do some damage as well.
The coaching staff has already mentioned that they know they need to do better. They need to find more ways to get the ball in his hand. He's an electric player when he has the ball. The yards after carry is what he's known for in his college, in all of his college, hype. He was really great after getting his hands on the ball. So manufacturing some of those in the way of some backfield screens, getting the ball to him in some RPOs. Those are the type of things that I think the Raiders need to do, and I think they will do, because they need to get their first round pick wide receiver going. They have to find a way to get this offense to be more than just Darren Waller.
Agree with that.
And also with
go ahead.
With Nelson Aguilar leaving town, all those receptions they got to go somewhere. So
right.
He has the perfect chance to step up and be that wide receiver one.
Right, and Ruggs is going in the 10-10 right now. It's his current ADP. He's going in the 10th round, 10th pick of the 10th round.
Wow.
So it's definitely, you're not losing. You're really not losing a whole lot to go ahead and pick up who should be the Raiders wide receiver one.
Yeah.
You know, when you're making these dart throws at the end of the draft, it's definitely good to look at teams that, you look for those teams that have a wide receiver one that no one is really considering to be a wide receiver one on the team right now, because at the end of the day, they have to manufacture targets for him. So that's my guy. Look out for Henry Ruggs. I think he's going to be able to provide some level. Now, mind you, don't go crazy. If you have to go above the 10th round, it's too high.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if he's available for you in the 10th, why not?
All right. I'm gonna tell you my pick. And I was trying not to step on your toes because he was a former Raider. And I do have to say this name with a grain of salt because he's been the object of a lot of jokes deservedly throughout the years. And his name is the non-baby catcher, Nelson Aguilar.
Don't do your baby to him.
And so here is why I would be mad if someone was to pick him up and he was to go off on me. Last year, he was with the Raiders. He played alongside Henry Ruggs, Hunter Renfrow, and of course, Darren Waller. And so, of course, with all of those mouths to feed, he was not on the field as much as you'd want. He had about a 70% target share, which is okay, but, not for an alpha. But with those targets he got, he was very, very efficient. He came on later on in the last 10 games, and he was about a wide receiver one. Even at a 155-yard game, he had a 100-yard game, and he did that on, 70% of snaps. Very efficient. The opportunity he has now, since he's moving to the Patriots, is to be the number one. He can be on the field about 90% of the time, if not 100% of the time. And
he is the number one.
He is the number one.
And there's no one else.
And who does he have to compete with? N'Keal Harry, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bond? Come on, right?
He is without a doubt the number one.
He's without a doubt the number one. And guess what? Nelson Aguilar right now is going in the 16th round. You can build your entire team and then add a wide receiver one. You could even grab him from the waiver if possible. And for somebody, if I'm going against somebody and we going head to head, we have our slugfest, and then in that flex, I see Nelson Aguilar in a 150-yard game, I could be mad. I could be mad. And he definitely has the potential to do it this year. And, I don't like to throw injury in the air, but I don't know if Cam Newton is going to actually play the whole season. And I would be very excited if Mac Jones was to take over and to utilize his wide receiver one the way it should be. And I think Nelson Aguilar could be a steal again this year.
I agree.
Those are all fair, definitely fair points.
I mean, I feel like Nelson, like his career has kind of had a rebirth.
Yes.
He made a really good. I mean, last season, I have to say he did a lot of good things for his career last season.
When I saw him going off, I thought the app had like a glitch.
And he's definitely being praised and hyped a lot, and from New England reporters and from the coaches even. They're really impressed with him. He's almost always the talk of mini camps and OTAs. So they definitely like him. So all that translates to he's gonna get targets.
Yeah, really no one else to talk about. But yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, for y'all who listening to this show, hey, keep him on your radar. But for everybody else, let him slide. You could build a whole team and then pick up Nelson Aguilar. Get him.
All right. So that's so to recap those names. That's David Johnson, Henry Ruggs, and Nelson Aguilar. Yeah. Keep your eye out for those players. They could be game winners, league winners for you in the long run. And if they're not, they are ADPs at a place where
throw them away.
Not working out. Release them back to the wild. Just let them be free.
Let them be free. Let them roam.
All right. Well, let's get to the main event, boys.
Yes, sir.
NFC South breakdown.
We're
going to go through the 4 NFC teams as we try to figure out where is that fantasy value that we need to make sure our teams are dominant in the upcoming 2021 NFL fantasy season. Just so everyone knows, I want to go over these again because I know for some of us, we definitely had to get reconfirmation of who all is in these divisions. In the NFC South, we have the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
You have the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
You have the New Orleans Saints,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is such an interesting conference. Before we start, it's just like we have three of the teams with some of the biggest changes in the whole league, and one team that with absolutely
didn't change at all.
no change at all.
And I used to make this mistake in fantasy a lot. When there's so many big names, the analysts don't talk about them because I mean, what do you say about Christian McCaffrey? What can you know what I mean? And all of these teams have big names, and we have to bring them up.
Definitely. Well, let's go ahead and start with the team, the Super Bowl champs, man. How about that?
Let's do that then.
All right.
Let's start off with the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, what do you need to say? You know, Tom Brady back again.
I will say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers scare me from a fantasy standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because there's so many mouths to feed.
So many mouths to feed.
Yes.
They terrify me.
This wide receiver list is kind of funny. I mean, listen, there's the names you know, but then there's like even past that, like you almost have to go to the next page to get through all of them. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, Justin Watson, Jaden Mickens, Travis Johnson, Josh Pearson, Cyril Grayson. It's just Jalen Darden, TJ Simmons. It's like
what? RIP to Jalen Darden this year, because
I mean RIP to anyone who isn't named Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, honestly.
And even scary enough, Antonio Brown has been getting some hype as well, and that's scary for my other targets. Not saying that I like Antonio Brown, but it's just scary, that interference for my Chris Godwin targets or my Mike Evans targets.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Mike Evans, I think of all the wide receivers, he might be the one that I feel probably most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, I think he's proven himself through the years. I think we know Mike Evans is a great wide receiver, right?
He does.
We know that he wins on contested catches. We know that he makes the big plays. We know that he can beat cornerbacks.
Right.
So at the end of the day, Tom Brady just needs you to do one thing: catch the ball. Okay. Tom Brady likes the guy that catches the ball. Mike Evans, most of the time, will catch the ball.
Yeah.
And he has been, I think, was it last year, he was doing the thing with the 1 yard touchdowns.
Yep. Or 2 catches for 2 touchdowns. You don't know whether to be happy or sad.
Yeah. But, I mean, for me, the only player I feel comfortable starting every week is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Because he has so much targets, he's gonna get the points.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, I mean, if you draft Mike Evans, you have to start him.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part about it.
That is the unfortunate. And right now you have to draft him in the beginning of the 4th round.
Not too bad.
Which isn't bad.
If you can get Mike Evans as your wide receiver too, that's great.
Right now, so Julio Jones or Mike Evans, guys?
Wow.
That's a good question.
They are currently going at the 401 and the 402.
Surprisingly enough, I think I take Mike Evans, and I don't like it.
I think I would too, and only
I would as well.
Because Julio has that injury issue. Right. I don't know how much I'll get to use Julio.
Mm-hmm. And this Mike Evans. This is Mike Evans' second. This is a new system with a new quarterback. This is his 2nd year in the system. We definitely saw that come to fruition last year at the end of the season. His connection with Tom Brady.
It only stands to reason they'll get better. If that was you not knowing the system and your quarterback 100%, stands to reason they'll get better.
And he played hurt a lot last year, which is good. Which is good and bad. The man
I feel like he always plays hurt.
Right. The man wants to see the field. And I have to I respect that in a fantasy player.
Yeah, listen, you want your player to be on. You want him to work. You want him to fight through the pain.
If your
Yeah,
player on
man.
the field, they ain't worth nothing to you.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
So yeah. So how do we feel about Chris Godwin, guys?
I like him. I don't
I
know
like him
if
too. I
don't know if I can afford him.
love Chris Godwin as a wide receiver, man. His first year with Jameis, I had him in fantasy that year, so I have a connection. I mean, listen, he is amazing. I mean, also a guy with super sticky hands.
Yeah.
Catches just about everything that goes to him.
Can you
like
afford
him.
him?
I
Is the
like him
question.
The problem is the price.
Yes. So
The
where's he going?
The price is too high for a team that spreads the ball around.
Right.
He's going at the 408 right now. So for him, we know that at the end of the day, he is not the wide receiver one on this team.
No.
That's it.
Mike Evans is the first read. So knowing that he is going to be the second read, even though he's in the slot, and we know Tom Brady loves his slot players, he's competing with Scotty Miller there.
I was going to say.
Rob Gronkowski is still there. The litany of other tight ends that they have.
OJ Howard would be coming back this
Howard
year.
is coming back. Isn't Brake
Yep.
still with them too, right?
Yeah, Braid's still there.
He's still
Yeah,
on
they
with
kept the whole team. So all of those short area passes in which Chris Godwin makes his heyday are, there's so much competition for that I'm just I'm scared to make that pick in the 4th round.
I like him, and I almost wish he went somewhere else in free agency.
Me, I was going to say the same thing. The same thing.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Godwin, he could be wide receiver 1 somewhere, man.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
Really feel he could.
And then
even want to get that championship.
Even this running back team. I think I spoke on it. I spoke on it earlier.
Unfortunately, we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Boy, and nothing in that backfield is interesting to me.
Not at all.
But the thing is, if I would say if Ronald Jones can go late enough, if he can go late enough, I would pick him up like on a day that I know he's going to start, which is almost not ever, but he can put in some work when he's on the field and doesn't fumble the ball.
When is that?
You know what I'm saying? But and so if he's cheap enough, this is more of a dynasty play for me. If somebody is sick of Ronald Jones and I can get him for a 4th or a 3rd or nothing, or just a player that I want to get rid of, I'll take him.
Yeah, Ronald Jones is going in the fifth round right now.
5th round
way too high for my blood.
He's going in the 5, the end of the 5th round.
This is interesting.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
That's too high. That's too high for me. Definitely, I'm out at that price.
Yeah.
There's other guys that I think are way more interesting around that position.
Yeah,
I can't bite the bullet there.
Yeah, and Arians, I love him as a coach, but he is almost as though he doesn't have confidence in this guy, and he's like, you guys have to show me.
Yeah.
And the first person that screws up is out of this game.
Right. They also have the same issue. I mean, remember Giovanni Bernard is there now.
Yeah.
Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Keyshawn Vaughn, CJ Procise is there now.
Oh, gross.
I know. I'm not saying he's someone to be afraid of, but I'm just saying there's another running back in this offense, and so I think
Yeah, my stomach is getting sick. We got to move off from this. My stomach's getting sick.
Let's move on to another team right now. Oh man, so let's move on to a team that I think I'm feeling much better about this year, and that's the Carolina Panthers.
Me too.
I feel like people sleeping on them.
Yeah.
I feel like Sam Darnold just had a really bad coaching staff in New York.
Yeah.
He suffered from the Tannehill syndrome.
No, don't call it that now. Come on. He graduated from Gase Academy. Let's call it that.
Okay, he graduated from Gase Academy.
So Thank you.
I feel like they're gonna have a really good season, and the wide receivers are gonna benefit the most.
Right. Yeah. I think they can benefit.
I think Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy B. Yeah. Teddy B.
That it just I can definitely understand feeling that way. To me, I'm just like, give me the chance at it, and I'm happy with it. I'm not ready to say that he is, because I need to see it more from the guy that's seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
But I do believe the hope is there. You know, I
think
believe
Gase,
that he had.
I think Gase implanted those ghosts in his helmet. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but this team is definitely interesting, man. I mean, you know, Christian McCaffrey, that, you know, we don't need to talk too long about him. He's gonna get his. He's gonna, you know, they're gonna draft. They're gonna find ways to get the ball in his hand. He's electric. He has only done. I mean, even last year he played 3 games, and I think he was a wide receiver. He was a running back one in all of them, and the running back one in one of them.
yeah, Sam, I heard.
And he was playing injured.
Yeah.
So Christian McCaffrey, still young. None of those injuries that happened were the big injuries. It was all kind of smaller, nagging injuries that kept him out, and they wanted to keep him fresh for a reason. You know, they want, and CMC is going to find a way. I think he's definitely still worth the 101 pick.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion.
I agree, and I mean, especially with the addition of Darnold to boost the wide receivers, it's going to open lanes for him.
Yeah. And that's the thing
not a whole lot of people to worry about in this backfield for him either. I mean, you know, we know he's the unquestioned one.
The thing about these wide receivers they are all serviceable, but I don't see any of them being, you know, top round worthy. Robbie Anderson has had his streak, but of course he fell off, and you know, he could pretty much do that week in, week out, where you can say, I don't know if I should start him or not. So I don't have high confidence in them at this point, but if Sam Darnold has a favorite, I would be willing to pick up the favorite.
I mean, you can assume that Robbie will be his favorite just because they played together in New York, so he has more of a rapport with Robbie.
Yeah.
But I had both of them last year with Teddy, and they both put up big numbers, but the problem was consistency.
Yeah, consistency.
I had to play both of them every week because I didn't know who would get the ball that week. So,
and that's painful.
It is. So you will have to see what kind of consistency they have with Darnold to kind of evaluate their value. But like you say, none of them really stands out as the player to pick up.
Right.
Yeah. So it could be Robbie, it could be DJ Moore. I lean more towards DJ Moore because Robbie is just kind of a run down the field and catch the ball kind of guy.
Right.
Guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Okay.
DJ Moore is probably one of my favorite targets this year.
Interesting.
DJ Moore, let me start off with this. DJ Moore is currently going as in the 6th round. Let me just make sure. Yep, he's going at the 601 right now.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Definitely, and we've seen the talent of DJ Moore ever since he got on the field in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Moore has been an electric player, doing amazing things with the ball. Even last year with Teddy B, he might not have been the most consistent, but he once again was consistently doing things that just not a whole lot of wide receivers can do.
Yeah.
Moore is commonly referred to as a ticking time bomb in the league right now. And that's never been a bad thing. We've been waiting for the breakout of DJ Moore, the true breakout.
Yeah,
because
you know flashes.
He's had a lot of really big flashes, but there's been a few things holding him back. You know, I think now is the time for DJ Moore, especially if Sam Darnold can come. If Sam Darnold comes to fruition, it's gonna be because of DJ Moore.
I agree.
It's gonna be because DJ Moore is making the plays to make Sam Darnold great.
I think what has been holding DJ back is consistency at quarterback.
Yeah.
Having a new quarterback almost every year kind of, hurts you. And like he isn't DeAndre Hopkins, who's already that guy, so it don't matter who come in there.
That's true.
He came in as a rookie, changing quarterbacks every year, kind of, you got to learn the new guy again. So
every year and build it.
Hopefully Sam Darnold is their long-term solution, and I think that'll help DJ Moore a lot.
Okay.
I'm glad I held on to him in Dynasty, because there are a few times I thought about trading him or dropping him.
The key for me is
Interesting.
once again where he's going though. Just be
Yeah.
very mindful of that. I don't think you should let around the end of the 5th round. I mean, listen, if DJ Moore is available, you need to be
Snag him.
snapping them up everywhere. I mean, I want him as my wide receiver too everywhere I can go.
I do think he's gonna have a great season.
Interesting. Okay. You moving on or what?
All right.
Anything else to talk about there?
There's not really in terms of tight ends. There's really not much to talk about on the on the Panthers.
Can I confess? I had Ian Thomas maybe 2 years ago for a breakout and it never happened. So R.I.P. there.
Yeah. No, it's nothing's going on there.
Don't tell nobody that.
Dan Arnold is there from the
anyway. Let's move on. I'll talk about him another time.
But yeah, that's the outlook for the Panthers. Let's move on. All right, guys. Saints or Falcons next? Do we want to save the Falcons for last?
Let's save the Falcons for last. Let's go for the Saints.
Okay.
Let's talk about the bakery.
So who's it gonna be at quarterback? What's your bets?
I think they go on Winston.
I agree.
I never believed in Taysom Hill as an actual quarterback.
It's not for you to believe because they believed in them last year.
I know they said that, but even when they played him last year, he didn't look like we can use this guy for the whole season.
He got the job done.
I still think Winston's. I feel like Winston can do more than he can. If they can mitigate his interceptions.
Winston does more than everybody, including touchdowns, including interceptions, including everything.
I guess. I mean,
I
think the quarterback is going to be Winston. I wouldn't draft him, but I think he's going to be the quarterback for them.
But yeah, if he is, for everybody else is going to benefit. And so I would love if he's the quarterback for everybody else.
Now, I did read a report. I don't know if it's still the case, but they were having Michael Thomas was having issues with Winston not being able to accurately throw the slant, and that's his bread and butter.
Yes,
you can't hit the slant.
Michael Thomas is that thing of like Winston loves throwing the ball deep and can from time to time throw an accurate deep ball, but in terms of it's that thing of being able to walk, being able to run before you could walk.
That's true. A slant is below him.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too little because it's too much.
Yeah, don't insult me with your little 5 yards. I want a 50.
But then W's with slants.
I'm serious. Did Michael Thomas fight someone in training camp last year? I'm gonna tune into that training camp.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll have to watch to see if he can get, because I think the Saints offense is built on precision.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
Winston has to be
the breeze. Now, see, that's the thing though. The breeze led Saints offense definitely did, but are they going to? I mean, what are they going to do to try and mitigate? Because a smart coaching staff doesn't try to just amalgamate an offense to a different quarterback. You have to find a way to change it. So, are they going to find a way to mitigate those mistakes? And if they do that, then doesn't that mean they try to keep the ball out of Winston's hand?
And maybe you go with Taysom. That's what I don't know. Maybe it may be the dreaded 50-50.
Yeah, it's definitely a toss up. I agree
that if you play in more than one quarterback, you don't have any quarterback.
Yeah, and I agree with that, especially in fantasy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine starting a game with Jameis and then by halftime it's Taysom or vice versa? Oh my gosh.
I think of just, I mean, more than any other quarterback, this situation is a wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just have to.
We'll have to wait until, I think, down to preseason to see what's really happening with this team.
The problem is that we have other parts of this team that we need to evaluate, like Alvin Kamara.
Let's call his name.
Alvin Kamara. So guys, tell me something. I this is something that I've been struggling with. How far does Kamara have to drop for him to be on your team?
If I have a top 5 pick, it would be Kamara.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean in the first round?
in the first round.
I mean, you can only get him in the first round.
Yeah, so top 5. If he's not,
If
Okay,
if the
what
5 other top running backs you're saying are gone,
what running backs would you draft before Kamara?
probably only CMC and Derrick Henry with confidence, and then it's Kamara.
No, that's,
wow.
I would take four running backs before Kamara.
Who's that?
I would take CMC, Henry, Saquon, and Dalvin Cook before Kamara.
I only fade down for injury risk, and I mean I don't like to fade people for injury, but I would rather go with Kamara.
Now understand me. I'm not saying Kamara isn't a good running back. It's
Yeah.
just this team concerns me.
Oh, minus Breeze.
Yeah, the
Oh,
team concerns me.
that's what we have to. We're only talking about that, man. We can't be talking about Breeze now. He's gone.
Yeah, it's just
So you have to consider the differences in this team. You know, are they going to be able to consistently get into the, get to the red zone? You know,
Yeah.
Kamara made his heyday on touchdowns at one point in this game. You know, is he going to be able to sneak in and get those touchdowns? You know, is the team going to be scared enough of whoever's arm to not just stack the box?
I mean,
exactly.
we saw enough of it last year, the Taysom Hill experiment and Alvin Kamara 8. So I have no hesitation on Kamara.
Now, do
Yeah.
keep in mind with the NFL, once they get tape on you, things can change.
That too, but
The Taysom Hill
Kamara.
experiment was new. Nobody know what was going on there.
That's
So
true.
now that they got some tape, you're like, okay, I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
We could pivot, and I mean, honestly, other than Kamara and Thomas, what else on this offense do you have to worry about?
I don't want to linger on it, but there's some whispers in the bushes about Traquan Smith being the number 2.
Whisper
I
about
mean,
Traquan Smith.
He is the number 2 now, but
Right. But that's ain't nothing to really hype about for me.
yeah.
The only other
Troutman-
person,
Go
Adam
ahead.
Troutman, that's exactly what I was going to bring up actually. Adam
Breakout
Troutman is
potential.
actually breakout potential tight end, drafted last year by the Saints.
Right.
I think he has I think there's going to be opportunity for him considering the lack of targets there are on this team. You have Michael Thomas, and then the litany of other guys that we've kind of seen from time to time: Traquan Smith, Deontay Harris, and Marquez Callaway. Adam Troutman could be,
Be a sleeper.
he could be a sleeper. Also,
You
could
could
be a
get him for
safety
free.
blanket for whoever
Definitely for
quarterback
free.
ends up playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, basically you get him at the end of your drafts, but he's going to be the tight end 1 for this team, and he's really an athletic tight end, highly touted by a lot of analysts in the league right now.
Yeah.
He's another player that I've been hearing a lot of buzz about consistently, and I just think that's a name that you should watch out for,
Keep in the back of
especially
your mind.
if you decide to punt tight end, not go for any of the big names. You're just gonna shore up your team.
Definitely a great waiver wire pickup.
Definitely a great waiver wire pickup.
Because remember, not to linger more, but Jared Cook is gone. Remember, he got targets.
Jared Cook is gone.
Targets and touchdowns. And
Right.
so I think that this Saints offense is predicated on a very athletic tight end who can go short and long. I think Troutman can do it.
The last thing I just wanted to mention is that one of the top handcuffs to own in the league is going to be Latavius Murray once again.
Yeah.
Don't forget about him if you're a Kamara owner. And there's been times even when Kamara has gone down. He's gone down a few times, and Latavius has stepped in nicely just about every time and done really well.
Yeah.
He's still a pretty good running back, so keep your eye out for him, especially if you're the Kamara owner.
Definitely.
All right. Last but certainly not least,
the super hyped team,
the Falcons, the recently changed Falcons. Boy, this was before last week. This conversation would have been completely different.
I know, but that's like team lukewarm for me, because as much as you want to hype them up, you want to downplay them at the same time.
Yeah. It's definitely. I mean, I'm excited about Calvin Ridley on this team, definitely. And then
And then what? then and then is let's say the obvious. We got to call the big name. Let's call Pitts.
that and Kyle Pitts, of course.
See,
Kyle
I don't want to
Pitts.
make the mistake.
Don't let me. You're right. You're right.
About the analyst.
Go ahead.
Let's call the big names first. Let's Kyle Pitts.
We also have to remember. Well, Ridley did have a foot surgery recently. It was minor, but maybe something to watch there.
Which is even more hype for Pitts.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we have to. I'm still in the camp that we still have to be mindful of the hype of how far we let this hype go on Pitts. He's still a first-year tight end in the league. There are people getting too excited. We can't put him in the same name of the Kelsey and even the Waller.
No.
You cannot draft Pitts too high right now. You don't know he's done nothing in the league.
Agreed.
He's a first-year tight end. That's one of the most difficult positions to learn in the NFL. And just because he's possibly a legendary talent doesn't mean that he's going to be not going to be subjected to the growing pains.
Yeah, but let's say that disclaimer: the hype that I have, and I think that we all collectively have, is the high floor. We're not hyping
high floor on the targets.
We're not hyping the ceiling. We believe he can be great. We believe he can develop into a superstar tight end. But we believe in the high floor because there's no other targets there. He's going to get targets. And so even if he has 60 yards a game, 70 yards a game, 70 yards and a touchdown, that's tight end one potential. And so that's what we hyping him up for. But just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot to be excited about. I wanted to bring up just where Kyle Pitts is going right now.
This should be interesting.
Which I mean, and we got to take it with a grain of salt. He's going into 903 right now. That's gonna go up.
Right.
That's gonna go. I expect that if you want Kyle Pitts, you're gonna have to probably take him in the 5th or 6th round, honestly. And if you have to take him there, I'm going to say that don't take him. I'm going to say there's better wide receivers in that round. If I go to the 5th and 6th round and see what's going right now, you could have Cooper Kupp. You can have Deontay Johnson. You can have DJ Moore. These guys, you want to have these guys to shore up your offense rather than taking a flyer on a first-year tight end that we just don't know enough about.
Guys,
that is too high a price for hype.
Guys, I hesitated, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I think I have a nickname that I'm working on. It's not finished yet for Kyle Pitts.
Okay, right? Go ahead.
I feel like Kyle Pitts in general and his value is like Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin, you can strike big on Bitcoin if you get in early. And then there's a lot of risk involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to call him Pitcoin.
Oh boy, give me the. I need. One day I will have the soundboard ready on this show so that we could just play the.
I'm gonna work on it.
More.
I'm gonna work on that. I'm saying it finished yet, but I think there's something there. Pitcoin.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Until further notice. Please, if you comment in the comment section, please give how you feel about Bitcoin and if you do better for us so that we can not have to say Bitcoin.
Guys, if you used to root for Bitcoin, boy, I love you so much. But anyway, let's move on.
We got to talk a little bit about the running backs right now. Mike Davis, Mike Davis is the main guy right now in that backfield. They also drafted Cordell Patterson, however you say it.
Right.
Special teams guy, and but also known to steal, touchdowns and hold downs plays. So, I mean, Mike Davis is definitely came out as a big winner after the draft.
Speaking about big, I'm drafting Mike Davis's quads if they can fit on my roster.
Bro,
listen, I mean, I don't know, man. How can he run? I'm just like, I don't know how does he start a fire when he runs, but I mean the friction there that's got to be insane.
If his game is anywhere as big as his quads, I want him.
My gosh, I had to look to see if that was Photoshop. Like that is insane.
No, definitely ridiculously big quads, but what, Mike? I mean, he's he's the last guy standing in that backfield.
Yeah, and the thing is with him, he filled in nicely for CMC last year.
He did.
Yeah.
And every week you were saying, okay, that's going to be the end, and he kept doing it.
Mhm.
He's tailed off a little bit, but hey, if I could get that for like nothing, if people are fading Mike Davis, I would gladly pick him up.
Guys, the thing about Mike Davis is this is and it's the same thing with Todd Gurley last year. And this is what a lot of people said. If Mike Davis comes out and he balls the first game, second game, trade him away immediately.
Sell him.
Get him. You have to trade him for highest value.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to last. He's a 28-year-old running back. These guys get tread on the tires really quickly. There is a chance, mind you, there's always a chance that, if he starts off well, he carries it through the season. But why take that chance when you could trade off, get a better wide receiver, maybe get a running back that maybe let you down in the first couple of games, but more is coming. Maybe has a better strength of schedule. Look out for these things. Mike Davis could be a great trade away target, depending on how his first few games go.
Agree.
I mean, he definitely has the opportunity to be good on the same. I mean, he has no one behind him. He has
no one at all.
The bargain.
He's gonna be the goal line back. He's gonna.
Yeah, he only has the bargain bin Derrick Henry behind him. So
don't even no. Don't work.
He's the bargain bin version of Derrick Henry.
You talking about who?
Patterson.
Cordarrelle Patterson.
That's because he's a big running back, tall running back.
Look like Henry, but he ain't Henry. He's the bargain bin version.
That's a reach. But let's go on.
I think the only other position there is the quarterback. Guys, stay away from Matt Ryan this year at all costs. Julio was the main reason to even have any kind of stock in Matt Ryan. You don't want anything to do with Matt Ryan this year. It's going to be shaky at best. And Calvin Ridley being his main target, the best I see for Ryan, I really don't expect a whole lot.
Stream him in a pinch. That's the best I could see from him this year.
I could see him being a great streamer, to be honest.
Could be a great streamer, but I'm saying just don't draft him. There's been years in the past when he was a great late round target. I think that time is gone. Wait for him to be available on the waiver. He will be, and make the pick accordingly. One
more note: Hayden Hurst. This has the worst luck. Everywhere he goes, there's some young hotness who just towers over him. What's the saying? Always the
I like Hayden Hurst, man. Sorry to see him. I was hoping to see a much better season. Yeah, I think if he had a better season last year, we would have been seeing Najee Harris on the Falcons right now.
Possibly.
But with what happened, Hayden Hurst, don't bother.
Yeah, don't bother.
Yeah.
All right, gents. We made it through another division.
Oh yeah, we did.
I'm feeling pretty good about everything. You guys, y'all definitely informed me on some things. So I'm going to be going back to the drawing board here and looking at some of these teams.
I don't like to pat myself on the back, but I think we gave a thorough analysis.
Yeah,
I agree.
We did well.
I mean, these are actually helping because some of these players I forgot are even on certain teams now.
And that's the key right there.
And what the depth chart situation is.
Yeah.
So okay, this person ain't a one no more, or this backfield is a little nasty. I want to stay away from it. So
agree. So and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do all the divisions and all the teams, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir. So we're doing the AFC South next week.
I'll let you guys decide because I'm excited to do that, but it's up to you guys.
Hey man, let's go ahead and give the teaser. AFC South coming next week. Let's get it. Someone is really excited about it.
Prepare
I'm sure it's going to be
overwhelming amount of.
It's going to be the Sherlin. It's going to be the Sherlin show. Okay, just
oh boy.
Nauseating amount of Titans love.
I'm already crying. We want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Couch Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, please remember to follow us on all the social media channels. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Couch Champions. On Twitter at Champions Couch. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Couch Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. We make weekly posts every Monday with our new episodes. So definitely, guys, remember to subscribe and comment, guys. Give us some comments.
Give us some
We want to talk to
comments.
you.
Of course,
We want to be
Hitman.
able to do an episode just on your comments.
I can't wait
That's
for
the
our
goal.
first mailbag show. Like
Yes.
I want to hear
questions.
back from you guys. A
Let
lot
us
of you
know what
guys
you
hit me up in the DMs and the WhatsApps, but put it on adult stream on our comments. That'll help us out a lot.
Come on, make us feel good, man. You know, we need to know something. We need to know someone listening. Hey, Cayman, we know you're listening. So
Hey,
keep
big up
it
Cayman
up.
again. Big up.
Big up, Cayman.
Yeah, man, we gotta get the algorithm on our side.
Right.
Definitely working against the win right now, but hey, with your guys' help, we're definitely gonna come to the top. Be able to have that recognition that we know y'all could help us get. So as we move forward, guys, thanks again for listening and look out for next week's episode.